Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday. I am Senator Roxanne Persaud. Happy Women's History Month. As you know, March is Women's History Month. And this year, as we've been doing for the past number of years, we're hosting a webinar to highlight not just women's history, but International Women's Day, which will be on March 8th. So today our topic today, the conversation we're going to have today, it's about breaking stereotypes, celebrating achievements and valuing differences, diversity and inclusion, developing awareness, and forging women's equality about discrimination. So we have four panelists here today, and we're going to have a conversation with them, and they're going to tell you their path to getting to where they are. But before I do that, I want to just highlight some key things about Women's History Month. First, International Women's Day, as I just said, is celebrated on March 8th, and that date was established in 1911. The first major march in Washington by suffragettes happened on March 3rd, 1913. The National Women's Party was formed in March of 1917, and that group was dedicated to getting women the right to vote. Title IX was passed on March 1st, which was been yesterday, in 1972. It was the first ever Women's History Week was created in order to bolster and support Title IX, which prohibited and still does discrimination due to sex in federally funded education programs. And the Equal Rights Amendment was passed in the Senate on March 22nd, 1972. So, International Women's Day, which we'll be focusing on today, is a global celebration of women's achievement and their advocacy for gender equality. The theme for this year's International Women's Day is Leading the Charge, Women Shaping a Sustainable Future, and it emphasizes women's leadership in addressing global challenges such as climate change, economic inequality, etc., healthcare, and all of the things that women are always fighting for. So we want to have that conversation. And we're honoring this month the struggles, the achievements, the contributions of women throughout history, and we should never forget their women's contributions. Until today, it's what you say you want something done, you give it to a woman, you give it to a busy woman to get it done. How do we celebrate, and how can we celebrate Women's History Month and International Women's Day? Well, we could educate ourselves and others, learn about influential women and history, talk about these things, let others know what the significance of the roles that women play and have played throughout our history. Attend events and continue to talk about women. Let's uplift women, support women-led initiatives. Don't be afraid to say, oh, my girlfriend is hosting something, let me go out and support her. Let me tell others about supporting her, so that we uplift other women. Too often we are not uplifting women, and so we have to make sure as women we continue to uplift women. People tend to say, women, they're their worst enemy, they pull each other down, but no, we're not doing that. We are here to make sure we uplift women. And so today I am going to introduce to you my panelists in no specific order. And as I introduce them, they will come online and come on camera. And I just want to do some housekeeping for you. For those of you who are participating with us on Zoom, excuse my husky voice. My voice is like a little rusty, and I've been saying that all day to people. But for those of you who are joining us on Zoom, you may place your questions in the chat box or the question and answer box, and those questions will be answered. We'll have time after our panelists have the discussion to answer as many of your questions as possible. Those of you who are joining us on Facebook, you may put your questions in the Facebook comments, and then it will be relayed to us, and those questions also will be discussed online, as many of the questions as possible. So I'm first going to start with the Honorable Chevelle Mims, and she is a distinguished jurist, and there she is. So you know what? So Judge Mims is part of the Kings County judicial system. And instead of me telling you all of the great things about each of our panelists, I want you to hear from them, hear their story, and hear how they got there. And then we'll start our question and answer. So, but Judge Mims has been part of the judiciary since 2009, right? And
right.
here she is today. And she will be also, she is going to be running also for Supreme Court. And so this is another level that she's stepping into, hopefully in the not so distant future. So Judge Mims, can you briefly tell us about yourself after I'm going to bring all of the other panelists on, and you will start off by telling us about yourself, and then the others will follow after you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to let our folks know. Listen, as women, we can achieve anything that we put our minds to. So thank you for being here. And then we have Detective Felicia Richards, who is in the member of NYPD, someone who will soon be retiring after, commendable years of service to the NYPD. So, Detective, come on. You can be on camera now. There she is. And she does a lot, in addition to her doing all of the things as, this fabulous NYPD detective that she is, she does a lot of community work. And she's going to tell you about some of the things that she does. And then we have Miss Sonia Davey. Sonia Davey, LMHC, INHC, and she's also a part of New York State. She's licensed mental health counselor, and she's been doing this for 18 years. And she's also doing part of NYPD, right, Papa? So she's going to tell you her role and how she's gotten to this and why she is so dedicated to the work that she is doing and why her work is so important. And then we finally have Michelle Gall. Michelle has started a Digital Girl Inc. And listen, she does everything possible to ensure that not just young girls, but everyone in the community understand that the digital divide should not exist. And she is fighting to ensure our young girls, they will be like, I don't want to be in technology. I don't want to do this. And Michelle has made it her mission to ensure that when you see you're talking about STEM, the people who are leading the charge are young girls and women. So thank you to all of you for deciding to join our conversation this year as we celebrate not just Women's History Month, but International Women's Day on March 8th. So I'm going to start with Judge Mims, who will introduce herself and then lead us in based on the introductions I did. Thanks
Well,
again.
very well. And thank you so much for having me here this evening, Senator Persaud, and to all your staff that helped to make this evening's event possible. Again, my name is Chevelle Mims, Judge Mims. I serve, as you had indicated previously, in Kings County. I was elected in Kings County to a civil court position countywide. And that was in 2022. I began my service in 2023. I was initially a judge in the criminal court for 2 years. And concluding in that court, I was the presiding judge in the young adult part. And that is a part where we carve out alternatives to incarceration for young adults who have intersected with the court system. Those are individuals between the ages of 18 and 24. I've transitioned now to the civil court, which is my wheelhouse, something that I've done for a very long time. And in that court, of course, we handle bench trials, jury trials, commercial landlord-tenant matters, all manner of contractual disputes, small claims, and the civil court is known as the People's Court. And one of the things that you touched on, Senator Persaud, in discussing me at the top of the program is just, sort of how I got here. And I'll tell you, it's been a long road, but it's one that's been well trod. And I've not done it alone. I've had a lot of help from a lot of people along the way. But I am originally from Memphis, Tennessee. I was just a little country girl, and I grew up around farms and and animals, and had a very simple life. And as life would have it, I had the opportunity to relocate to Southern California as a teenager. And there is where I started to sort of find myself and hit a stride academically and athletically. And I would come on to an opportunity to move to New York, and that was about 30 years ago. I am a mother of two now young adults. I was a young mother at the time, married. And, you know, I worked in the corporate environment. And I'd realized, having worked in that environment for some time, that although I felt that I was being impactful and adding uh, value as an employee, I realized that there were some limits in place. And I thought it prudent that I seek out other avenues. Having always had a curiosity about law, I decided to pursue a degree in law. And having finished law school, I wanted to, uh, as the theme of this month, you got to give to gain. And I thought it prudent to give. And so I'm in public service. I absolutely love public service. I enjoy what I do. And being sort of on neither side of the V has given me the opportunity to look at every case afresh, whether I've touched it as a court attorney and now as a judge. But that's my track to the bench. There's so much more to share, but I don't want to take up too much time. Again, thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. Yes.
Thank you very much. And now we'll pass it on to Alicia Richards.
And Senator Persaud, I'm humbled. Thank you so much for asking me to be part of this panel. I always feel so humbled when I'm in the presence of other people, and I'm very familiar with Judge Mims, and I'm very, very familiar with Michelle Gold, because we keep crossing paths everywhere we go, which is a positive thing. That means we're all of us coming from different directions, walking down the same track, going to the same goal, which is empowerment, which is, as you said, you got to give to gain. And I think between all of us, you included, Senator, we have given and we are destined to gain. I came on the job in 1986. So I tend not to do math. They can do the math for me when I successfully walk away. I'm walking away with all limbs, all fingers, all toes intact. So I think that's a blessing. But I have been a police officer, public safety officer, I like to say, because they always use crime when it comes to our neighborhoods and our development. It's not about crime prevention, it's about public safety. So I call myself a public safety officer. Since 1986, I've worked out of Brownsville, Ocean Hill, the part of Brooklyn where we are. I'm a housing cop at heart, and I think when I walk away, they will not let me go. I was originally out of PSA 2, which we know covered 7 NYPD precincts. When I came on, it dropped down to, I want to say 3 at present, but I was around for when we covered 7 areas: East New York, Brownsville, Crown Heights, Canarsie, East Flatbush, Bed-Stuy, and the 6-3 and the 6-9, all of that area. We covered everything. We were had the largest coverage back then. Now currently assigned to PSA 5. Again, housing won't let me go, which is Harlem, East Harlem to be exact, which it's like Brooklyn with a Manhattan accent. But I'm having a great time, and I'm able to bring the knowledge I had from all my years working in New York City Housing Authority, working with the police department, and making sure, I feel it's my duty to keep people on track. We see people, and we tend to want to just see but not see. That kind of attitude I was never brought up with. If you see something that's not right, if you know you can fix it, then you step in. Whatever, come what may. And that brought me to be my mentoring also came from my upbringing. I was a Girl Scout leader in the police department. Brought me to Explorers. That's right, Girl Scouts. I was a Cub Master. And I don't want to say was, I still am. You know, from you touch a child, you touch the family. And I see a lot of the kids that I brought through scouting as adults and very successful adults, I must say. I'm a proud member of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. I can't leave my people out. Those are my sisters, my sorors, and you know what? They're my supporters. They're my mentors and they're my advocates. And these are two things, again, that we as women, we have to remember we have to have side by side. They cannot be enclosed in the same person. So I have mentors and I have advocates. And I make sure from the cradle to the grave, they're going to stay with me. I will not allow them to leave me. And you, again, women on this panel, sisters, you are part of that. You are part of my village. Okay, so I do lean upon you. I do check what you do, and that gives me strength. And I'm always open to learning. As I tell you now, I'm actually currently I'm still employed by the police department, but that doesn't mean I sit and wait till the end. This is my last couple of years. This is my last year actually. But while I'm getting to there, I'm actually picked up the mantle of travel advisor. So I'm here at a conference in Dominican Republic. But when Senator Persaud calls, you say, absolutely. I put it down. I take a step to the side. This is as important, if not my important point of the day. And my people will tell you, I'm not going anywhere until I got to this. So
Well,
they're
thank
going
you
to
very
party
much.
and we're here to make this, to make history.
Thank you very much. And now, Michelle.
Good evening. Thank you so much again. I echo the same sentiments that came from the ladies before me. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for trusting me to speak to your audience. Again, my name is Michelle Gall. I'm the founder and executive director of Digital Girl Inc. And I was really motivated to start the organization based on my own personal experiences, growing up in inner city Brooklyn, going to through the public school system, and just kind of feeling like my intrinsic talents weren't necessarily seen. I was just a statistic to a lot of the people that should have been pointing me to really be great. I had some great teachers and I met a lot of great people along the way, but I still just felt like there was something missing. And I spent a couple of years trying to find myself after high school. And
where did you go to high school?
I went to Brooklyn Technical High School. Thank you, Senator Persaud. Right, I definitely wasn't going to leave that out. I was leading up to it. We're so proud of our Tech Night experience. But I wish that I had some support while I was in the school, and after I graduated from college at St. Francis College, another school that I'm very proud to have went to. And after I graduated and ended up and landed my first job out of college, working in tech just fell in my lap, because when I was and even though I went to Brooklyn Tech, when I got to St. Francis College, I was studying business and marketing with a minor in Spanish. So I was doing a lot. And after, I got this job working in tech, fell in my lap. And why do I say that? I was working at a radio station, and not to date myself, but I found myself there when they were just beginning to see a shift from people wanting to advertise online to advertising on advertising on air to advertising online. And, at the time there was no department for people doing work through the internet. There was no title. There wasn't a lot for it, And so while I was at this company and working in a marketing capacity, I was able to take my marketing skills and translate them to digital marketing. So when I was there, they took so I was supporting the sales team at this radio station, And they took us all into this room one day and they said, well, our engineering department just can't manage trafficking the online advertising. That was how they referred to it. And so we're going to teach you all how to do it individually. And we sat in this class, and as I'm learning about this new thing, right? Because again, advertising online was a new thing. Up until that point, you advertised one of three ways. It was on air, it was print, or it was on TV. So now there's this online, and all of the previous three, none of it was quantifiable, right? Because if it's print and it's on a billboard, it doesn't matter if a million people pass, it does not mean a million people saw your ad. If it's a newspaper, even if a million people buy it, it does not mean that a million people saw it, because a lot of men get the newspaper for one reason, but the sports section, right? So when they open up the newspaper, they open it from the back, right? So who knows who saw what came before it? And then the TV, and even on the radio, back in the days they used to have people walk around with a pager. It was something like a pager, and it was the Nielsen data. And so that what they would do, okay, I see some heads shaking, right? You remember that, right? And so how they quantified it, how they knew who they decided who was listening was that if you walked into anywhere you walked in and you had this pager on, if the signals dinged, then it was like, oh, they were listening. But I mean, if you're walking around in your day, does that really mean you were listening? No. So once advertisers and companies found out about advertising online, there was an excitement that was generated that had not existed before. And because now for the first time, someone could say, you know what, these many people was on this page and these many people clicked through to your ad. And from that click through, these many people made a purchase. So everyone wanted that because now advertisers can say, listen, I need a million people to see this ad, and I need X amount of people to buy it, and these are the demographics, right? And so I'll get into that later if we have time. But we give a lot of information away online for free through our social media. We think that it's free. They just want us, but they're collecting so much data about us, right? So anyway, so we all went into this class, and I was in this class, and they're like fireworks going on. For the first time in my life, I saw fireworks about something. And I was like, this is amazing, and I left the class and I'm saying, why don't I know really, how did I go to Brooklyn Tech, but I didn't know these things, like what is really the internet? How does it really work? Like I need to go back to the basics to figure these things out. And a lot of the people that were on the sales team, they were pissed off. I was happy and they were pissed. And they're like, listen, I want to sell. I didn't come here to traffic anything. I don't want to learn anything new. I'm an excellent salesperson. That's all I want to do. And I said, you know what? That's fine because I like this. So give it to me. I'll do it. And just taking that, volunteering to do that, just projected me on a whole different path that I could never imagine was possible. I ended up teaching myself HTML, CSS. Again, there was not a real department for these things yet. So advertisers didn't have anyone to make creatives for them. So the ads that you see. And so I taught myself Photoshop and I learned, design, and I would create these things for free. It wasn't wasn't in my job description. And, without taking up too much time from everyone else, that's what got me started. And once I learned about this and the benefits of working in tech, I was able to work from anywhere. It put me in a different class as far as money-wise. It was really something that I wanted to share with the rest of my community because I knew about the freedom that it gave me. And I wanted to share that and just say, you know what, you don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be a stripper. I mean, I'm just going to keep it real, right? Because these are the things that the kids in our community are talking about. They want to make money. And these are the things that are being sold to them through the media. And I just wanted to say, there's some other ways that we can make money and how could I get this out? And Digital Girl Inc. was the answer.
Well, thank you very much for that story telling us your history to getting to this point. And so we're going to go to Sonia. And so Sonia's going to tell us her fabulous story. And then after Sonia is done, then I have some specific questions for each of you. And then we're going to see what's going on. So, hey, Sonia.
Hi, how are you? Thank you
Good.
again. I am so honored, as all the ladies have stated before, for the invitation. Well, we're all connected on so many ways. For one, Michelle, I went to Brooklyn Tech as well. That's why you saw me get excited. So Tech Nights. And Felicia, Detective Felicia, I am a therapist, but I'm also a PAPA clinician. And PAPA stands for Police Officer Providing Peer Assistance, which means they have an amazing group of peer officers that train to provide emotional support to officers, but then they also partner with therapists. They have a screened roster of therapists, and we work very closely together to provide emotional support to New York NYPD officers, active and retired, and to their families. And so I've been a part of PAPA for 8 years, and I absolutely love it. And and so also to Judge Means, I worked initially, I started in counseling and mandated anger management. So I had a lot for almost 10 years. I worked with, and it was primarily males, not on purpose, but that's just how it ended up with in Brooklyn at an agency before I went into private practice. So I worked with in anger management. So they were forced to see the program, they were forced to see me. So, but I have been doing this work, as you stated, for 18 years, but I've been in private practice almost 10 years. And I love what I do. One of the reasons I went into private practice is because I wanted to practice and deliver mental health broader. I've been in healthcare for over 30 years. And one of the things that I noticed was I didn't like how mental health was, and I still don't like a lot of things about mental health. I love the way it's done, but then there's also things that I don't like. And so I wanted to go into private practice so that I can give my clients what I call a broader look at mental health. And what I mean by that is I'm trained, highly trained in integrative and functional psychiatry. So I don't just, when a person come to me about their mental health, I'm not just going to focus on the symptoms. I'm looking at everything, their entire life, their health, what health issues may contribute to their mental health. I look at their lifestyle because my hashtag is mental wellness is a lifestyle. So I have to look at a lot of things, but I also help because I'm an integrative health coach as well, certified. And a life coach, got a lot going on here. But I believe in giving people a broader approach to their mental health. And so part of that concept for me is also helping them to have a better conversation with their doctors, particularly when they're coming in with health issues that are affecting their mental health. And we have so many people that they don't realize it. They have no idea sometimes that different health ailments can contribute to their mental health. We have a lot of trauma in our community. And one of the things that I always say jokingly, but not jokingly, is that Black people just started going to therapy on Tuesday. So with that being said, there's a lot about therapy and the need for therapy that they don't understand. So I give a very broad conversation about mental health and mental well-being. So with that being said, I'm going to ask clients, because I'm trained in hormone health, gut health, emotional eating psychology. I'm going to ask you if you exercise. I'm going to ask you, what did you eat? What are you eating? I'm going to ask you if you are managing your diabetes. I'm going to ask you if your hormones are regulated. I'm going to ask you if you are sleeping. I'm going to ask you how much water you're getting. I'm going to ask you if you have bowel movements, because it's just so much about that a person's health that affects their mental health. And unfortunately, and it's no shade to practitioners, a lot of them aren't taught that. I didn't learn that. I've had extensive years of learning this, because this is really the way we're going to have to treat when it comes to mental health. A lot of people just don't know. I have clients who have huge trauma histories, and they have no idea the health issues that come from that, from the stored trauma, years of that, and how that's also affecting their mental health. I have clients that don't know how to make the connection to their trauma and their diabetes. I have people that have histories of substance abuse and don't realize, no, actually your family has histories of trauma. But there's so many dots that have to be connected. When I work with my law enforcement, who I love, I have to talk to them about lifestyle, because they have shifts that change all the time. So they don't understand why they're irritable or even depressed or very anxious. Well, that's because you were working night shift 2 weeks ago, and now you're working day shift today and you're not able to eat the way you should, you're not getting proper sleep. Like all of those dots have to be connected. And it gives people a much broader approach. It doesn't take people down a very narrow path of 3 symptoms and a pill. It's very broad. And I like to partner with clients when it comes to their health and show them that. So in private practice, I don't have those restraints that I would have in an agency. And no, again, no offense to the agencies, but I just wanted to always do expand the viewpoint of mental health, and functional psychiatry allows that. It allows for me to have those bigger conversations. It allows me to help clients to say, well, actually, no, let's look at this quick example of why this is so important. I had a client I've been working with a long time, history of trauma. We did a lot of great work, but all of a sudden this client was just feeling just very, very depressed, and they were spiraling for a few months and they couldn't understand, and they didn't have anything different in their life. So I asked, any recent blood work? They said yes. I said, okay. So they're telling me, well, everything was okay except, well, my hormones were low and such. And I said, no, 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 that's a problem. I said, what did your primary care doctor say? They said nothing. I said, no, that's a problem. I said, I need you to see a GYN. Take this, have the, and I told them things to discuss with the GYN, what could be some options, but that was a decision that they were going to make with their doctor. Well, come to find out, because the person was also of an age of perimenopausal, of that range, it ended up being a hormone issue, and they end up going with what I had suggested, but only because the doctor had the final say so, not me. But it worked, and she came back a totally different person. She felt bad. She said, I feel like myself again. I feel like the mask is taken off. She felt like, I feel like I'm back in my body again. But that's because the conversation of mental health didn't just say, well, you're feeling depressed. Okay, here's what we need to do. Write your prescription. No, it was, let's look at your body and let's look at your health on a wider lens so that we can give you a complete picture, look at if there are any underlying causes, find out what your team needs to look like, which in this case included a GYN. Now we can go back to finishing the trauma work that we were doing because we got that issue taken care of. And so that's why my training in this, I'm so passionate about it, is because I want us, now that our people of color are embracing therapy, I want them to make sure that they're getting the right services, and if they have questions, give them questions to be empowered when they go to their doctors. And so it's important to me, like I said, to have a voice in this. I'm also, my book is going to be released soon, Before You Medicate, Investigate, questions to ask before starting psychiatric medication. And that's because, again, I just want people to be empowered. It's not about anti-medication or pro-medication. That's not it. It's just you making the best decision for yourself. And most people that I have seen over all these years are very intimidated in the healthcare system. And particularly when it comes to mental health, and particularly even if it involves their children or family members, they are very, very intimidated. They don't know what to ask. They feel sometimes that a mental health diagnosis is a death sentence, and they don't have no idea how to connect the dots to their health or their trauma or family history or genetics or what lab tests. They have no idea. So, like I said, this is something that I'm so excited about, that I'm doing after all these years, especially from this perspective. And I'm just excited to continue to do more of this in the future.
Thank you very much. So as our viewers can see, we have 4 women from 4 different backgrounds. It all connects because, as you understand, women are nurturers, and so they're interested in the holistic view of an individual. So I'm going to ask each of you a question, but I'm going to be timing you. You have 2 minutes to give your answer. Otherwise, I'm going to say time's up. And so we will start with the Honorable Sherelle Mims. And so I want you to tell us, so what are some challenges you have noticed when it comes to people having to fully understand the full understanding of their rights and the ability to exercise those rights? You see people on a daily basis who are, like questioning, like, I have a right to do XYZ. So how do you understand?
That's a really great question, and thank you for that. So, it's really interesting because, yes, we have rights. We have certain rights, and then we have privileges, and then we also need to understand that there's a difference between those things. So I think that when it comes to the court system, I think that it's a very intimidating place to be. And that, I think, is a problem in and of itself. People are not sure how to navigate the court system. Even when they have something that's very simple that they like to address, or they could be in court for a very serious matter. And so I find that just being in a space in which they're unfamiliar, going through a process for which they have no point of reference, I think that those are some challenges in just not knowing some of the questions to ask, and which is what spawned the question, sort of what their rights are. And so whenever I encounter that, and it happens more often than you would think, right? In the civil court, where the people's court, you have, neighbors and people in your community who are coming in to get some sort of justice, or to right a wrong, or to stand up for themselves. And for some people, it's the first time that they're really doing this. And so what I like to do is just explain the process, particularly when I have pro se litigants before me, people who are not coming into court with the benefit of a lawyer, whether it's a small claim or a larger matter. I like to explain the process. I like to engage the attorneys. I like to look at people in their eye to me.
There.
At 2 minutes,
That time is up.
2 minutes fly.
Yeah. That time is up. I give 2.5. So we'll get back to you in a second. So we're going to now go to Michelle. So Michelle, tell us what are some of the barriers and issues that you think contribute to the lack of access to STEM education in underserved communities? And your 2 minutes begins now.
Well, across the board, it starts with the fact that how society raises girls to play with dolls and boys are playing with cars. Of course, there's that innate interest that exists anyway. But, when given the chance, young women will be interested in tinkering. I mean, just the other day, I was in the store and my daughter, she's 7 years old, and she's walking past the toy aisle and she sees a drill, a big toy drill. And she said, "Oh, please, can I get that?" And I said, "Well, what do you want to do?" Still, even myself, I said, "What are you going to do with that?" And she said, "But it's just like Daddy." So, her dad is Mr. Fix It. He's always doing something. And so because she sees that, she knows she can do it as well. And so, of course, I bought the drill, but it does start at home. And then what studies show that if children, girls are not introduced to disciplines like engineering and encouraged to be, little scientists, even to just, we don't want the girls to play in the dirt. We don't want them to get dirty. If they're not encouraged to be scientists and to be curious and to explore things like math, right? Tony Robinson, our director of programming, she always says, she hears girls to say, Tony loves math. And she'll hear girls say, "Oh, I hate math." And people will be like, "Oh, that's okay." But if a boy said that, it wouldn't be okay. Mm-hmm. So those are some of the differences. And then studies show that if girls are not exposed and encouraged to pursue those disciplines before the 3rd and 4th grade, the chances and likelihood of them pursuing it afterward is very slim. So those are the first things. And then when it comes to,
Time's up.
Oh, all right.
See that? Time's up. So we are going to go now to Sonia. So Sonia, you spoke about, the way people come to you and talk about you have this holistic approach, and you talk about mental health and all that. But in certain communities, particularly in our communities, there's this stigma that's attached to conversations about mental health. How do you break down that barrier and making sure that the people who are coming to you understand that it's okay to speak about mental health, and saying it is okay not to be okay and to ask for help? How do you do that?
Well,
And
the
you
first
start
thing is,
now.
okay, I'm ready. The first thing is when you speak directly to people's pain points, it makes it a little bit easier. And then also, too, one of the first things, again, as I said jokingly before, but for people of color, therapy has not been something that we've always had access to or something we felt that we needed. So once I talk to them, identify the pain points and kind of normalize how they're feeling, then I'll let them know the benefits of therapy, but also the legal benefits of therapy, meaning that the conversations are protected. Because we're very concerned always, which is understandable, about someone knowing our business and someone knowing, telling our stories outside of the room. But I always start off with someone and tell them legally how we cannot disclose their information. I even go as far as to let them know if I see you out in the streets, I can't speak to you. You can initiate the conversation if you'd like, but I can't legally breach your confidentiality. And that always has set clients at ease right away. And even when I work with formerly incarcerated, as I said earlier, that immediately, once they knew legally I couldn't say anything, or if I saw them outside somewhere, I couldn't identify them. And then we start normalizing their pain points and helping them to understand and giving some vocabulary to what they were actually dealing with. Then the conversations can happen. And safety is the first thing, making a person feel emotionally safe. They have to feel that way. And that has always been the thing that I always start off with. And it works. It works. And as I stated before, I worked primarily with males for a long time, guys that were just coming home from prison, and they never expected to be able to talk the way that they did, because making them feel safe, discussing it, normalizing their pain points, and letting them know legally that the conversation is protected always seems to work.
Well, thank you. And that's key. Letting them know, no matter what you tell me, no one knows.
Well, except
They
three,
will
unless
not
they tell
hear
me
it
they're going
from
to
you.
hurt themselves. Yeah, those
There's an
three things.
except. There's an
Right.
except.
Other than that, you're absolutely correct. No one else will know. And then they end up talking more than they expect.
Exactly. And so now we go to Felicia. So Felicia, you do a lot of things in the community. You're always mentoring someone. You're mentoring young girls, young students. You did the mentoring activity at the school. Your team just adopted a school, and so you're always mentoring folks. So what are some of the key lessons that you try to ensure you instill in your mentees? Because too often we see people say our youth, they have nothing to do, they're running around, there's no direction, but you've stepped in and you're like the mother to the community. And so you have all of these mentees. What is it that you instill in them to make sure they understand that, being their mentor is not just a one-off, and these are things that can get them farther in life. Your time starts now.
In 2 minutes, I will tell you, I do start off, and I'm gonna tell you, this is even with the youth that I have actually during the course of my job. I always say that, first of all, any of these kids that come to me with an idea, I'm proud of you. First, that might be the first time anybody some of them have even ever heard anything positive. You know what? Coming to me, you're strong enough to come to me. Thank you for trusting me with what you're about to tell me. All right. Let me know what it is, and let's see what I could do to make this happen for you. And it's amazing, like you say, youth are really geniuses. They have these ideas, but they just don't know where to place it properly so they can get that advocacy, get that assistance. They know what they want to do. They see it. What I've done with the kids in the school is, first of all, I stepped in there and I walked around because I was trying to understand why the school wasn't hitting its milestones, wasn't hitting its median. And I couldn't understand it. It's not the kids, because the school, as you said, the school we adopted, it's 3K to 8th grade. How can a 3K contribute to a negative result in a school rating? It can't. What I went in and first thing I said was, young lady, young man, I'm proud of you for coming to school today. Let's get this education. That's one thing they can't take from you. You're a genius. And we just have to keep encouraging. And it doesn't just stop then. As my mother used to say, it doesn't get easier as the kids get older. It gets harder. And so the older that these children go, before they get to middle school, before they get to high school, when they get to college, it's more of you need to be that hand, and next thing you know, they're in college and your whole body is what's propping them up, because they need that support. And they're not getting it at home. Again, it's our village. These are our nieces and nephews. And that's what, and thank you again, for
your time's up.
we told them in that school, these are our nieces and nephews. We're not the parents. We're in local parenti, but we are the village. And no matter where it comes, we can't fall down on these kids.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Thank you very much for that. Yep.
Parents need
so
that.
Our next question now goes, I'm reading this now. This question is from Michelle. And so Michelle, you have 1 minute to get this answer. What digital skills today will shape economic power tomorrow? And that's from a female's perspective. Go ahead.
Okay. I always feel like computer science skills are wonderful foundational skills. Learning how to code, it is not just about you learning how to code, it's the computational thinking that goes into it as well, that really sets the groundwork for you to just kind of explode. Of course, right now, AI, understanding artificial intelligence is key. It is the future. We're living in the future. And a lot of people are afraid of artificial intelligence with good reason. But that is the reason why it's so imperative that we get our community involved. There's the ethical side to it. We have to remember that a program, and AI is just a program at the end of the day. A program can only be as good as the person that's writing it. Mm-hmm. So you have to think, what is somebody, there's so many other views that are out there today. And a lot of people are unapologetic about it, as before it was covert, right? People were hiding how they felt. Now it's not hidden. We know how a lot of other people are looking at the people in our community. We need our community to understand this technology so that we can be protected. AI is not going to take the time.
So I'm already. Your time passed, but you have 40 seconds now to finish the second part of this question. And why is it critical for inner city girls to see themselves in STEM careers?
Because we are the creators. Historically, we are the culture, right? We build, we create, we come from creativity. It is what we are. And historically, we've become consumers, not producers. It is critical right now for us to start thinking of ourselves as the leaders that we are, changing that narrative. Oh, they took slaves. No, they took kings and queens. They took engineers. They took doctors. They took scientists, not slaves. That's what we changed. So we need to take our power back, and technology is key to taking that power.
Well, thank you. Yep, technology is key. So Felicia, what does Women's History Month mean to you personally, and how are you actively shaping history in your field today?
So women's history in America has a huge impact because I am the child of immigrants. My mother is from Cuba. My dad is from Antigua. I am firstborn American. So when we're talking about Women's History Month, and I go back home and I say, as we know in West Indies, home, that's that is embraced, and it's recent. We know about the strength of the women in our family because that's at the feet of our grand that we learn to cook, to clean, to sew, to run a household, to count money, to balance. But when we come here now, and I realize I'm firstborn, it's my job. I feel it is my job to make sure that my daughter, and when my daughter has daughters and my son has daughters, that they understand that every day you wake up and step out, you have to leave a mark. And it has to be a mark that is positive and that impels people to follow and improve upon it. So Women's History Month, that's all we have. Is us. And collectively, as you said, women have to uplift women. It has to start with us.
And so the second part of that, for your younger self, you're telling your younger self what you know today, what would you be most proud of? And each of you has to think about that, because you're going to come, it's coming to you too. What are you most proud of? Think about that and I'll come back to you.
I can tell you.
Go ahead.
Do you want to tell me tell you now? I am
Yes.
most proud of those minds that I have stimulated as I watch them grow and become the best that they can be. I am proud of all of my kids that I've touched. They know that. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. And at this point in my time, I can look back and I see the kids that have come and have brought an idea to me, or have told me a secret, or I was the first one to hear about something, or even respected me enough to say, I messed up, I need help. And now I see them growing and they're doing the same thing and they're paying it forward. That would not have been me thinking that was me back then, but that is me now. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that.
Well, thank you. We should all be proud of that. So therapist Sonia, is they put here. Therapist Sonia,
Yes.
how can women heal from generational trauma while still leading and building?
Well, the first thing they need to do is embrace therapy, because most people don't understand the collateral damage that comes from trauma and generational trauma. And there's a lot of work that has to be looked at. And immediately we want to sometimes jump into either pushing things behind us and just going into, oh, that was your parents, and just leaving those things. But there's collateral damage from it. And it's the healing work needs to be done. That's just from the psychotherapist side. From the integrative side, there's also a lot of ravages from trauma in our health that we don't know. We've heard about the Jewish community and how they've looked at the research between what happens from the Holocaust and how it is, genetically affected their families. Well, the same things happen with all races of people. And just to keep it on our people, there's a lot of connections of what happens to our physical body. Trauma, generational trauma, can go as far as reorganizing the cells, and just so much that what we don't know about it. So going into therapy, learning how to heal from it, then looking at what your wellness team needs to look like, really embracing the healing process. Because one of the things I've noticed, that one of the biggest challenges in our community for our children in particular when it comes to mental health that they're dealing with is having an unhealed parent. And so we have to do the work not only for ourselves, but because if you're unhealed, it's going to affect the way you show up everywhere, the way you show up at work.
Hurt people.
Yeah, the way we show up at work, the way we show up with our spouses, the way we show up with our children. We have a tendency to think that because it's happened a long time ago, but our body doesn't know time. So you can still be triggered by things that happen as young as a child, and you're angry and having different reactions. And particularly when I work with a lot of the young men that were formerly incarcerated, we talked about that in PTSD and different things. And a lot of these things can come from generational trauma. So it's important that we get the education from professionals on what generational trauma looks like, and more importantly, what the collateral damage is, so we can get the complete healing from it.
Thank you for that. And so what would you tell your younger self that you're most proud of?
I'm most proud of that I still have the energy for learning and doing the work that I do with my whole heart. But even before that, one of the things I'm really proud of is being a mom. I have one son, and I love him with my whole heart, and I love that, what he's become in his life with his family and his career and his business. And I'm just very proud of that. First of all, being able to be a parent, because I don't take that lightly at all. And so that's one thing. And then also, like I said, the work that I get to do, and the energy that I still bring, and the love that I still have for it. I believe in being a life learner. I'm very passionate. And I believe in also people finding things they're passionate about. So I'm grateful that I am passionate every day about what I do, whether it's pertaining to my career or just my life outside of that, because I am a whole person outside of my career. And so just looking at life as and enjoying the journey, because I teach clients that all the time to enjoy the journey. I still have that same energy that I had at Brooklyn Tech when I was on the cheering squad. And so I keep that go team, go energy.
Oh, she's
That
going to
actually,
cheer for you. Oh,
yeah. Say it again.
she started to do the cheer.
Yes, yes,
I was going
yes.
to team too. I was a booster.
We're gonna talk after this. Look at this. Me too. I was a co-captain. And so it's the energy, that go team, go energy just really, believe it or not, fuels me. And I'm grateful that I held on to that. And it just shows up in different areas of my life. So
Well, thank you.
yeah.
So before I get to Judge Mims, I'm going to go back to Michelle to ask her that same question. What would you tell your younger self that you're most proud of? When you look back, you said, Michelle, we've come a long way because, and I'm so proud. Go ahead.
I would say I would be right there with Miss Felicia. You know, when I started the organization, I just thought it was going to be like a part-time thing I did on the weekends or like after my full-time job. You know, I said if I just get one kid, then I would have done something. And here we are, over 12,000 participants served. We have grown to not only work with children, but also work with young adults, adults 18 plus, and older adults 55 and up as well, teaching technology. And so I'm just so proud of all of my students. You know, we are starting to see participants that started with us in high school, graduating from Columbia Law School, becoming lawyers and studying intellectual property and technology law. We have seniors that have gone through the program that have decided to become authors now. You know, it's just so seeing all of these things and kids who, again, like me, just didn't really know where they fit in, didn't really know what they were going to do, and then finding themselves within Digital Girl and excelling and going on to make 6 figures and not even 25 years old yet. You know, that's exactly the impact that I wanted to have. And like Miss Felicia said, or I'm sorry, might not be Miss Felicia, but if you impact the child, you impact the family. You know, so those kids go home, they talk to their parents, and that's how we started the senior program, because we had some grandparents raising the kids and saying, listen, I don't know what my daughter is talking about, but you guys are doing something I just really wish I understood. And we're like, well, we want to help you understand. You know, once they have so much in common, right? The older generation, the younger generation, when they can meet in the middle, it really changes the bond that they can have. And we think that, as someone said earlier on the call, it's not just one thing, right? Everything's related, everything's connected. So if you can have that bond, and I'm proud of that, to see how people come in and say, I can't do this. The lady my young lady who graduated is a lawyer now in IP, in tech law. She came in saying, I can't do this tech thing. I'm just going to try it out, but I know I'm not good at it. And she just excelled straight through our organization, from an intern to a programming, to a lead instructor, to a program administrator. I mean, you know, so I'm just so proud of our young people and the whole community for trying something new.
Thank you very much. So, Judge, there's a 3-part question for you. I know, I'm reading it. So the last part, you're going to tell us about what you're going to say to your younger self. You know, we knew coming up on the farm and doing all of that, and you didn't expect to be where you are. So when you look back at your younger self, what will you say? But the first part of this question is, what role does representation in the courtroom play in community trust and justice? That's the first part. Then the second part is, what is one misconception about women in law that needs to be dismantled?
Okay, so the first question is concerning the courtroom environment.
Representation, yeah. What role does it play? Because you always hear people saying, you know, if we don't see it, we can't be it, right? And so we in the legislature, we are always talking about representation matters. You know, we have diversity in medicine. We're trying to ensure more people are seeing, you know, when they go into the medical field, they're seeing people who look like them. So in the court system, what does representation, why does representation matter? And how do people trust the system if they're not seeing themselves represented?
All right. And okay. So, I think it's so incredibly important, right? That when you step into an environment that you don't feel like an outsider, that you're somewhere on the periphery. And I think that when you come into the court system, whether it is a judge or a clerk or a court officer, or sometimes there are organizations who are there in the court who are working, who you can tell are not there because they have a case, but rather because that's where they work. And I think that people find a sense of comfort knowing that there's someone here who can identify with me, who may have some sense of understanding of my culture. And when I tell my story, empathy is not some quantum leap for them. And I think that it's important because, I think that people want to be heard, they want to be understood, and I think that goes a long way when people are sharing sometimes very personal things about their lives, and something that they're maybe even just very passionate about concerning the law that may land them in court. But I also think, I've had people come in and sit before me, and they may be shocked that, I'm a woman judge of color. And there may be some other things about me that they're like shocked to see. I'm also not, reflecting as, someone who's very steeped in age, so that sometimes is shocking to people. And I think that it gives people a sense of hope and some faith about, what they can potentially be, even if they don't look like me, because it may be something else about me that resonates. So I think that it's important for all those reasons. And your second question had to do with,
what is one misconception about women in law that needs to be dismantled?
yeah, I think that for a long time, not only in law, but in so many environments, in the medical field, in law enforcement, in corporate, in tech, um, there's there's not been a lot of an abundance of women, but we're starting to break these barriers, right? Over the last 30, 40 years, women have just completely obliterated what was ever ceiling before. And I think that previous to that, and I think it still exists, to get to your question, is that, some people may think that, women aren't as capable as men, that some of the things that they may think are stereotypes about women would preclude us from being impactful and effective in what it is that we do. So I think that could be a little stereotype. And quite frankly, some people feel more comfortable walking into court with a male attorney than they would a woman attorney. And that's because they don't think that the woman would be respected, off cuff, and heard as and received as well as perhaps a male attorney. But we are just as bright, uh, and our prowess is just as strong as any male, and we would advocate just as zealously as any other human being. But those are some of the things that I think could be misconstrued about women, and in particular in law. How it is that they would be accepted by people in the courtroom. And that's because, the legal field has been male dominated for just a lot of years. But, I think that that's changing at a very rapid pace now. In fact, I think that we have poured into every aspect of the various professions that I think folks are not shocked to see us anywhere these days. The president of the United States was nearly a woman, so I think that we're just leaps and bounds beyond what what limitations anyone ever put on women, so.
And what would you tell your younger self looking back, saying,
When I think back to my younger self, I would tell that young girl that I'm so proud of her resilience and her faith. When we're growing up, you don't always fit in. You may not land so well in a group of other kids. Maybe you experience bullying, some trauma. And I was a very shy girl, but I was always full of zest, but I would tell that young girl that I'm really proud of her for her resilience. I'm proud of her for having faith in God. I'm proud of her for not allowing for her humanity to be tattered at and eaten away at, but that she would find avenues of self-discovery, and that she would step into opportunities even when she was afraid or unsure of herself, and in that she would find ways to be impactful and to share in her humanity with people, to be a good friend. I'm proud of her for being a great friend, to be an honest person, and to having just humanity. That's something that I would tell that little girl back then. And I would tell her, don't worry, everything's going to be all right. You'll see in time. But yeah, that's what I would tell my younger self, that I'm proud of her for allowing her heart to be full and to remain full and to share selflessly. Thank you for that
okay,
question.
thank you
Yeah.
all very much. So now I am going to give each of you, an assignment. As our time is wrapping up, I'm going to give each of you assignment. And this, just think about it for like 30 seconds. And each of you is going to ask another person a question, right? So we're going to start with Sonia. Sonia, you are going to ask Judge Mims a question. What would you like to ask Judge Mims?
Let's see. What was the biggest, you said you spoke about resilience, which is great. What was the most challenging part of your journey?
The most challenging part of my journey was really as a teenage young girl. I There were some challenges in my home life, and there were some safety issues, and I felt very insecure in that environment, and finding a way to land in a stable environment was a huge challenge for me. And I was about 14 years old, but I advocated for myself. And that advocating for myself was very much out of character. I was very shy, but I was able to advocate for myself and speak to some older adults and family members who were able to advocate as well and to help me in that effort. But one of my biggest challenges was finding an even keel and a stable environment where I could just go to school and learn, which is all I really wanted to do. If I could just go to school, but that was one of my biggest challenges in life.
Thank you very much for that. So Judge Mims, you're now going to ask Michelle a question.
Oh, Michelle, I am so curious about, well, you've spoken a lot about the children who you've impacted over the years. You've talked about how you communicate with them, that you're proud of them. Could you share with us a story about one of the children in your community whose story is just so inspiring that you would like to share it and we would like to hear it? So could you share something like that with us?
Absolutely. There's one young lady that came to us as an intern. her junior year in school. So she was a sophomore, would have been going into her junior year in high school. And she wasn't really sure about what she wanted to do. She was just like, I'm going to try this technology thing out. And working with her, it was a lot of fun, but, you could tell that there were some things going on in her life. Teenagers are growing pains, and not always not wanting to cry. Like I always tell our young people, need to talk to me if there's anything, that you want to discuss. I'm here for you, but I don't cry, So she never came to speak to me about anything. We ended up having an incident with her and another young lady that was in the organization, and there was a point where I wasn't really sure how to handle it. And I decided, though, that I would really remember myself at her age and give her some grace. And again, remembering that there were likely things going on with her, because that's what's happening in our community, and that's what happened with me. I had things going on, and I felt that no one thought about. And instead of reprimanding her or, kind of treating her like the statistic that I felt I was treated, I just really heard her, and I heard the problem, and we decided on my team and I to treat it again with grace and just let it be a teaching opportunity, not too hard on either one of them. And she decided to come back the second year. So now she's going into her senior year. And so I was excited to see her come back, because I wasn't sure. You never know what to do, So when she came back, I was so excited. And she left, and we really didn't have a lot of communication after that. And then we had an open house when we moved into our new space. We had an open house in the building, and myself and Tony went downstairs, and we were, talking to the community about the expectations, what they could expect from our organization. And when we were finished speaking, this lady stood up and she said, I just want to say, I want to speak about what these two ladies were saying. And we both were like, what's happening? We didn't know. And she said, when my daughter went through the program, she was really lost at the time. She didn't know what she wanted to do. She was down, and she went through that program, and she started to find herself through technology. And I'm proud to say that she went on to now attend another organization, Persaud. I don't know if any of you are familiar with this organization. She went on to go to Persaud, and she ended up landing a job. Actually, that's what I was referring to. She ended up landing a job at Google.
Wow.
23 years old.
Wow. Wow.
And, but that was a teaching moment for me too. Again, because I wasn't sure, you're a leader, sometimes you don't know what to do though, and so I wasn't really sure how to handle it. And I'm just so proud that we handled her with the grace that I wish I had received from myself. And to see she's going on now, she's not even at Google anymore. She comes back, she mentors with some of our students. She sat on symposiums with us alongside one of my other favorite young ladies, which I just spoke of, that was practicing tech law now. And those every time, and there's so many more. Like, I was at the doctor's office and my GYN used in the bathroom, and I always have my t-shirt on, and and it's like, you changed my daughter's life, and I'm like, oh my God, okay, so you just never know when. You never know when you're gonna, and it's always the days where you're kind of, as a nonprofit organization, you're overworked, you're underfunded, you're overwhelmed, and it's always the days that we're like banging our heads, kind of like, why did I decide to do this again? Because I could be making Google bucks somewhere and not have this headache. But then God steps in and He reminds me all the time, like, doing this first of all because I told you to, and second of all, you're on the right path. So thank you for asking that question.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that story. And so now, Michelle, you're going to ask Felicia a question.
Well, I will ask, what made you decide to get into working in the public safety sector, right? Because we're not going to say, what made you be a cop? No, what made you decide to want to be a woman and to get into public safety? Because it's another industry or, career path that a lot of women don't get into.
Well, if that was not my first choice. So let me be clear. I was actually putting myself on track to be a doctor. I was pre-med, Syracuse University, 18. That's my first time leaving home. And I go to Syracuse. Back then, that was a party school. So what happened? You fall into the party. And what happens is, though, in a school that is based on academic excellence and discipline, when I came out, I went to Bronx High School of Science. So I'm that school next door. Hello. So you already know that. Listen, I was proud when you said Brooklyn Tech, but I'm a science site, right? And we understand the stress that kids who go to those schools are under. You're under to perform. And when I went to Syracuse, wings were open and I was flying.
Right.
I knew in my head I wanted to be a doctor. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm 60 and I still want to be a doctor when I grow up. I've never let go of that dream because I know that would, I felt that would fulfill me. Mm-hmm. But what I know is whatever you give me a job, I'm going to, regardless of whether I like it or not, I'm going to do very well at it. All right. Until it is that I've run out of my usefulness. So I took the exam because my mother, again, West Indian parents, my mother's Cuban, things don't come to us like that. She told me education, the one thing they can't take from you. So I trudged through through Bronx Science. I took the test for Syracuse, got into Syracuse, and I set my sights on pre-med, but I was not disciplined enough. And they had me tumbling back to New York City, John Jay College of Criminal Justice. And I took the test for the police department. Back then, you could take it at 16. I took it at 16, and I got like a 98. Of course, I'm a science site. 98, but I'm old enough to take the test, but not old enough to carry a gun, so I couldn't come on a job. Took it again at 18 when I entered Syracuse, 96. I don't know what was going on with that, but 96. Still not old enough to carry a gun. Went into college, so when I left Syracuse after 18 months, it was no big whoop because what happened? I came right into a job. At the time I was going to college, 4 years in college got you entry level, your salary was $12K. What is that? When my entry level in the police department was $26,900. It's a simple, basic mathematical equation. Which one is better? And you only needed then a high school diploma, which I had a little more. I also, however, knew that to be a captain on a job, you just needed a bachelor's. So if I'd already started college, just get to bachelor's, I didn't have to go further than bachelor's, and I would really give myself some time when I got on this job to see what it was. But I love money. I love making money, but I didn't want that to be the only thing because money, just goes chasing money burns you out. And what it did give me an opportunity to do was be paid to hang out. And I'm a people watcher. I'm a communicator. That's my personality. And it gave me a chance. I realized very early, probably from college, that it's about communication. You can't judge people. You don't want people to look at you and say, oh, she's that kind of girl. You never had a conversation with me. And so, as you say, I found out how to communicate. I found out what words were the words that would get conversation going very young, 18, 19 years old. We could have a conversation and you swear up and down you knew me. I come into the police department and I'm able to work that muscle. And I've been still working that muscle for, thinking that, oh, I'm just going to be a cop for a little while. And then next thing you know, I blink and it's 20 years. I have all kinds, I'm in narcotics. I'm in all of these things because I was getting bored. So I was trying to go to all these different units, but it was the same thing. It was the same people. And then when now you're forcing me, I have kids and I'm looking at these young kids throwing their life away. I think in my 3rd year on the job, I said, no, they need scouting over here. I'm watching kids ripping and racing. It's 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. They need something to do. They need to be in bed. I went in East New York. I brought a Girl Scout troop to the Bamas, through Unity Plaza, Long Island Baptist. I had a spot right in there, and I had about 15 girls, different ages. Boy Scouts. I had my son, Boy Scouts. I need something for my son. And when I realized that my passion was kids, I just let my job and my life come together in that kind of marriage. If I'm going to lock a kid up, or have him or her where they're in my clutches, I need to take that opportunity. They're my captive audience, literally, to make them see what's wrong. We're going to have that conversation. And from then, it just turned out, I just found out I was good at it. And 3 years turned into 10, turned into 20. And as they say on the job, 20 and out, no, 20. And now I can just sit back and I can do me because I have my tenure. There are people under me who are watching me, and I can actually teach that person. That's not how you talk. Don't talk to that person that way. When you have youth say, oh, this grown person disrespected me, you're a child. You have to earn that respect. You're not even old enough to drive a car. You can ride a bike, but you can't demand respect from an adult. You need to learn. We need to pause. But also it's, as we said, respect is mutual. So I was able to literally, as you say, find the words, not scold, just correct with grace. Show them. People need to know they're doing the wrong thing in order to correct their actions. And I've just been doing that. And then when I started really, it's like getting into the background of what is the police department and why do we act this way in these neighborhoods? I started getting involved with our local, our politicians. They are the ones that bring what we need to where it needs to go. They're the ones we come to. And I started, and Senator Persaud, no, I've been in everybody's office that has to do with Albany. I've even been up at Albany just to see what that was about. We've had workshops. I have things that are in community with her constituents. I'm not going to do these things and you don't know about it because I realize you have to report on these things. Who's going to report? Not me. These are our mouthpieces. And so now when I'm bringing stewardship and the concept of district councils and the concept of, this might be somebody else's politics, but this is your neighborhood. I work here. You live here. Let's work together. What are we doing? I started, getting kids to work with me and then tell me how I can facilitate what it is you want to do. You don't need me constantly hanging over your shoulder. You don't need police over your shoulder. But what you need is to understand, as the judge said, how you can effectively navigate your community. The change is not going to come with me. The change is going to come with you because you live there. And I found, this that became a job, then became something I go to, and I got into community affairs. So I didn't have to lock people up anymore. I have to do that. And I'm able now to have the conversations and bring one faction together with the other faction to now be a collective. They're not factions anymore. It's not this side and that side.
So I'm going to cut you right there now so that you can now ask Sonia the question you want to ask Sonia.
Oh, and I appreciate that. Ms. Davy. So, Dixon's mental health clinician.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a mental health first aid trainer.
Mm-hmm.
In your time, and you said a lot of things that I resonate, so my head has been yesing. In your time, because you said that there are things that you heard that, the way that people address the mental health, even in the verbiage, if you could change something in the verbiage, because we know the verbiage also dictates how people see one another, how we get treatment. If it was in your power to change it, what would that be?
The verbiage of how mental health is presented?
I guess to get the entire presentation of mental health, so that everything is on course with what we know to be positive change. What would that be?
Well, the hashtag that I use, again, is mental wellness is a lifestyle. And I think that looking at it from that approach is softer, because it is important in what you said in terms of the verbiage. I am mindful of the time. The verbiage is important because so that you don't repel people from the whole conversation. So mental well-being, emotional health, those are things sometimes that have to be, that are softer words. And then when I talk to people about it as a lifestyle practice, meaning looking at your life and how is your life structured for your mental well-being, um, it actually is what we need to do more of, because people do need to look at it more of as a, like I said, a whole lifestyle, instead of just you go to a therapist, you get medication, or something's wrong with you. It's no, well, let's look at your well-being, let's look at your entire life. And so that's the approach, that's the softer approach that I do. And again, I learned to do that more so, again, with the audience that I have, particularly with the men, that mostly the men that were, you know, formerly incarcerated, because at that point they weren't addressing men's mental health. So I had to find softer ways to bridge that conversation. And so, like I said, mental well-being being a lifestyle and looking at it that way has always been more helpful and the easier way to lead in to the conversation.
Interesting. I keep hearing you talking about, and we have to wrap up. You talking about speaking with the formerly incarcerated and how the way you have to speak with them. And as a woman having to do that, that must have been tough, trying to break through and
It
speak
wasn't.
with.
No,
What?
it actually wasn't. And
It
so,
wasn't?
no, it really wasn't,
How
because
did
like
you get them to trust you?
the things that I said earlier, first of all, the safety, the way you talk, smiling, um, speak their name, giving them a handshake. A lot of times they didn't expect that, and just having a conversation first and establishing safety. That is with men particularly. And like I said, this was way before they started giving attention to men's mental health. Now
Yes.
you have to make them feel safe. And just one to add on to that, when I left the agency, I had for 3 years, I had my own men's program in 3 shelters in Brooklyn. Um, so I ran my own groups, and these were not mandated. You know, it was a lifestyle. They knew I was a therapist, which they liked, but it was more of a lifestyle group. And so I did those up until COVID at 3 of the shelters in Brooklyn, one being the Armory right there on Atlantic Avenue, the big one. And you'd be surprised. I was always sometimes pleasantly surprised how the men in this room, they would all come, wait for me, and they'd come in and they would start having these I would have a subject matter, but they would delve into some vulnerable topics in front of each other. And I said, wow, it was great. So again, that safety net of making them, normalizing their feeling, discussing their pain points, like I said before, and just making them feel safe. And you'd be surprised how much they'll talk. Anytime someone tell me, oh, they say, oh, my husband or my son or men don't talk. I said, yeah, well, this one. Making them feel safe, though, is the first thing. And you'll be surprised how much they will talk.
Well, thank you all very much. This has been an interesting conversation. We're looking at it from 4 different angles, um, 4 different careers, and all of you have brought into the limelight what your experiences have been like, not just as females, not just as an African American person, but just in the spaces that you're walked into, and bringing your own individual self into that space and changing that space. And I know when you're walking out of that space, you've made it better. And that's what it's always about. We always want to make sure, and as women, we want to walk in and fix everything and then walk out and be like, okay, we've fixed it and we've made it better. And that's what it seems as all of you are focused on. You walked into a space that was foreign to you and you made it into something that you are proud of, that everyone can respect. And then you're looking back and saying, well, well done. I did my job. So I want to say thank you all for this conversation. Not just, and remember, women's history isn't something that should be discussed on a daily basis. It should not just be in the month of March. Whenever we're having conversations, always bring up something about women's history, something that will empower especially our younger girls. And on March 8th, remember it's International Women's Day. Make sure you show them the power of women and the things that we're capable of doing. And that too often, when women are written off, we can stand up and say, not us. We'll show you what we can do. And that's why we celebrate International Women's Day. And that's why we celebrate Women's History Month, because we want to make sure we show the world what women are capable of. No matter what you throw at us, we will still stand up and say, I've got this. I've got this. So whether it's in the digital world, whether it's in the law enforcement world, the mental health space, the judicial space, we're all standing up and saying, we've got this. We can handle it. So I want to say thank you to all of you again. Thank you, Judge Mims. Thank you, Detective Richards. Thank you, Ms. Davy. And Ms. Davy was a part of our panel last year. Was it last year?
Yes, it was
Last year in Albany.
wonderful.
Yes, the last year in Albany. And thank you, Michelle. Michelle has been doing great things with us. I know she's going to be doing some AI work with some students again for us. Martin Luther King Day, we had an AI coding session with kids coding about Martin Luther King. These are the kinds of things that all of you are doing, and no one knows that you're doing it. So we have to make sure we're highlighting what you're doing. So again, thank you very much for honoring us by being on this webinar this evening. And I look forward to having more conversations with all of you. And the four of you, make sure you connect. Make sure you connect.
I look forward to connecting. This has been great.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Senator Persaud, for the work that you do.
Oh gosh.
You're
Absolutely.
You're and like it was said before, when you call, because you are just so phenomenal. You're relentless, you're tireless, and we thank you for your service.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, you make it look easy too. You make it look easy.
You do.
It really does.
It's not easy. It's not easy. But that's what we women do, right?
Mm-hmm.
You give us a task and we're like, okay, we have to do it. We have to do it. So to everyone who is watching us this evening, thank you for joining us on this Women's History Month webinar. Remember, March 8th, International Women's Day. Continue the conversation. Speak to the young girls in your life so that they can understand the important roles that they play. And so have a great evening, everyone. I want to say thank you to my staff in Albany who's behind the scenes getting everything done. Michelle and Dennis, and I see Lauren is on there. They're still in the office in Albany. And again, I say thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Happy Women's History Month to everyone. Take care, everyone.
Thank you, Senator. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.